Hey lunatics. This reading, is for anyone who identifies as an Aquarian. During December 2018, it looks like we have an opportunity to share intensely in some way, maybe through communication, maybe in other ways. It's also for anyone who is just drawn to Aquarian energy during December 2018. And that may mean that you're interested in a particular Aquarian, that you just want to call that energy in, and or are just interested in the energy in general. It may be your sun, moon, rising, Venus, or Mars, or any other placement for that matter. And we are using the Paulina Cassidy SpirtSong Tarot. Your card jumped out of the deck to represent you, Aquarians. Our card jumped out to represent us. And in this deck in particular, that card notes peace and healing. We have renewal and enlightenment reversed. Interesting, as how we're interacting with people, us externally, the way we're being perceived coming off, what we are actually doing. The star is really how we are feeling. So I feel like we are feeling like ourselves, Aquarius, this December. I was just glancing at the astrology to see if I could make some connections. I'm so amateur at anything astrology, but I do try to just make some connections. The Five of Crystals, or the Five of Earth, Five of Pentacles, coins, is showing up as what we're hoping for. And in this deck, what's noted is persistence and new possibilities. I said interesting about renewal being reversed because we inwardly, how we feel, what we feel is a sense of renovation or renewal, with the star card, with our own star card showing up in our feelings. And yet outwardly, externally, whatever action we're actually taking sometime this month, the beginning or the height of the month, it likely is maybe shown as a lack of renewal here. And it's a peacock on this deck's depiction of awakening, or the Judgment card in other decks, more traditional decks. And I do associate peacocks with Aquarius. We feel like ourselves, but we're not acting like ourselves. We feel very much like ourselves. We are a more enlightened, evolved version of ourselves, but we don't seem that way to others. Others don't understand how we're acting, and what we're acting like is ourselves. We've changed, we've evolved, we've grown, and what we're exhibiting doesn't seem like us. But we feel very much at home. We feel like we're exactly who and where we're meant to be, doing what we're meant to be, perhaps even. Or maybe for some, what's happening here is is what we're doing career wise or relationship wise, maybe communication wise right now. Isn't us. Maybe we are forced to deal with situations that have us acting out of character. We're unable to communicate properly for one, currently, and maybe a particular relationship has us, is something we're feeling uncomfortable in or with. Likely for a lot of us, it's work matters have us feeling not or acting out of character. We're doing something that doesn't feel like us, but inside we do. And that's for some. For others, it was the first message that we feel like ourselves. We've become this more evolved version of ourselves because we've been healing, and we are at peace. It's just, it doesn't look like enlightenment to other people around us, some other people around us. While we're hoping for new possibilities, a lot of us, it looks like, we're fearing the Page of Acorns or the Page of Wands in other decks, the Page of Fire nonetheless, in its reverse position. Discovery and enthusiasm, I believe, yes, are noted here. Enthusiasm, a word I often, almost always associate with that card. Discovery, I like that. So this is energy to me of a project lacking fire, lacking enthusiasm, lacking energy. Now we're headed toward temperance, but it's also on its head. It's also reversed. Oh, Aquarians. I see a lack of forgiveness. Some Aquarians, you are in a place of healing. You have faith that you will get to the place where you can forgive yourself. Maybe someone else outside of yourself, but likely for a lot of us, it's us. We will get to a place where we feel comfortable being completely exposed in front of everyone because we will feel forgiven. We will feel whole in spite of whatever it is that we need to forgive ourselves for, that we've done wrong, I feel led to say, but not truly necessarily. It's certainly in our own minds though, right? So we have balance and harmony noted on the Temperance card in this deck in particular. And something has happened to the music. And it's on its head. And it's this lack of forgiveness for someone, again, likely ourselves, that's causing that lack of balance and harmony then in the near future. In near future, I'd say sometime in December. The more distant future is the Three of Shells here. That might be going into January for some. These are just roundabout timelines. Time is fluid, and we are running out of it. The Knight of Acorns, action, drive, Knight of Wands. I love this artistry. is our lesson, this fast energy that's often in and out. It could be about a fire sign in particular. Is there an actual Sagittarian energy, or is it just all this Sagittarius energy? We've got Mercury going into Sagittarius on the 12th. The new moon on December 7th in Sag, of course. It's Sagittarius season until the 21st. For some, there's the message here that it won't be until after Sagittarius season that that balance and harmony is reached. But these are just indications of the path that most Aquarians are on now. And that doesn't, you can choose to alter that. It's in our hands to grant ourselves this forgiveness that will allow for this balance and harmony, I think. It's also indicative of just a bad combination. If we can't find forgiveness for ourselves, it's like some of us, I'm dwelling on this message. It's not the message for all. I'm dwelling on this one because it seems like to be the neediest one, for lack of a better way to say it, but the one that needs attention most. And it's like we are on a healing path, and like I said, I think a lot of us do have faith that the divine spirit source, help outside of us will get us to this place of forgiveness, but we're not there yet. And see, I also am seeing the bad combination aspect of the Temperance card. Perhaps that the situation that you're healing from and needing to forgive yourself about was rooted in a bad combination, you and a lover, perhaps. Also, for some, the holiday season, or if that's not what you're into dealing with, then whatever else is going on in your environment at this time is a bad combination with this state that you're in. Yes, you're healing internally, you're on the right path, and you believe in yourself and or your outside help, and you're headed in the right direction. But lingering in the doorway here before actually forgiving, it's like it's bad timing, because I do see this inclination to maybe imbibe too much, just to pour alcohol in the situation, perhaps specifically, but to drink or something like that in response to being unable to forgive yourself. For some, it's just being unable to adapt. It's just feeling uncomfortable letting people see this healed or healing, and we are all continuously healing, right? But this raw, vulnerable, changed version of yourself that they don't seem to understand, and we're having trouble adapting. Let's get a clarification card as well on the Five of Crystals while we're doing that. The lesson card as well. What is this Five of Crystals and then the Knight of Acorns? The Knight of Fire. It may be that bad combination was with a fire sign, Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries. That may be energy in our own chart we are learning a lesson about. It may be lessons brought to us by Mercury retrograde. realized maybe when it stations direct on the 12th. If you have significant Sagittarius in your own chart, or depending on what part of your chart Sagittarius is covering, that new moon could be particularly significant. That could be the fire energy we see in the lesson. I want clarifiers on both of those. And then your advice card, our advice card, Aquarians, is the Page of Shells, the Page of Water. Noted as intuition and inspiration. And the High Priestess comes out to clarify the Five of Crystals. I have to say it, you know, one, you have to use your intuition on this, but some are looking to indulge, wallow in this loss a little bit, this separation. And it looks like it could get you in trouble if you tend to drink too much. Then there is a message here to mind, and I'm going to say it this way, any Piscean placements, tendencies, energies in or around you that lead you to indulge too much. It's going hand in hand with you, some of us Aquarians, wanting to sink into this loss. We're in a space of healing, but some little dark part wants to wallow in self-pity a little. And it's a corner that we can't afford to cut this month. It looks like it's a bad combination also with what's going on in our environment now. And we need to take action in the direction that we know we need to go. For some, maybe this is a moment of fake it till you make it. I'll let you look at this advice card. Yeah, I do think that there's a fire sign missing from the picture, with the King of Wands showing up now on the bottom of the clarifier deck. And see, and I really, for a lot of us, I do think that this is asking, are we imbibing too much, drinking too much, especially if we're feeling low and are freshly separated, brokenhearted even though I don't see the Three of Swords, but still. Because this is very likely right around the new year. And then in the new year, sometime in 2019, the beginning of, I imagine, we have self-empowerment and ambition, and it's the Death card, and it's titled The Shadow in this deck. And I really do think that we'll be, if we are suffering from that part of us that wants to dwell and wallow in self-pity and indulge and over and vibe and just, I can't quite touch what I mean to say. I know what I mean to say. Go figure, right? Then I think we will be dealing with those shadow aspects, those tendencies of our own. I think what I see here with the Page of Fire reversed in our fears is you're fearing you're not going to receive a message from this King of Wands, Knight of Wands, who has likely been in and out of our lives, maybe over and over, or maybe just once really quickly. Some other advice may be that we may want to look toward watery energies instead, maybe a Pisces energy specifically in our lives that could offer us more the type of affection we're looking for. And, you know, if we're missing this fire sign that was in and out of our lives, they were probably a very speedy individual who took action, had drive, had motivation. What are those things that we are missing about them? Some of those qualities, do we want to embody those qualities? Write those qualities down, focus on those. That can really help you get over a person, to realize what you liked about them, what turns you on about them. You were probably attracting them and attracted to them because you wanted to embody some of those qualities to a certain extent anyway. And we need that action and drive, and we need to ask ourselves, are we also leaning into wallowing and self-pitying and laying about and milking healing, and then taking it to an unhealthy extent and putting off forgiveness, namely for self, and just self-loathing almost a little bit, as a way of procrastinating and distracting ourselves from the fact that we haven't found that action, drive, motivation of our own, or enough of it to get moving. For some, it's questions to ask, just questions to ask. I think a lot of us, you know, are wanting some type of support around us. Maybe that's why we see this page of shells here. Maybe there's a water energy. Again, Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer, but namely Pisces to me, that could just offer a friendly shoulder to cry on, or some support, some friendship, maybe even if not in a relationship sense, just a Pisces that we could turn to for the support we're looking for. Someone sensitive, maybe timid, someone imaginative, loving, dreamy, or this could be advising us to listen to messages from our dreams. Definitely, for all of us, also listen to messages from your dreams. If you're having trouble with connecting to your intuition, your intuitive knowing certainties, then try listening to it through interpreting your dreams. Write them down as soon as you wake up. Put it on your alarm, so it's the first thing that you see, that you're reminded of if need be. And give it a chance. Give it longer than you think you should. Be patient with it. Give it time to come back to you for the picture to build, and get some detail down if you connect with them. If it's something you haven't done before, it's like making a new friend and your best one. Because, you know, that could be another reason that, you know, we're hoping for the Five of Crystals. That's a state where you need support. So we could be manifesting a state where we literally need physical support to try to get the type of emotional support we want around us, because we've got ourselves all mixed up. We're on the right path. We know what we need. We know who we are. We know where we're headed. We know what we want. But we're going to linger in the muck for just a little bit because we really hate what happened, or hate what we did, or hate the part we played. Or we're not sure what happened. And or, you know, lingering in that icky space can be So I didn't mean to be hard on you at all, Aquarians. It's not for all Aquarians. I'm sure some Aquarians are in lovely relationship situations that are flourishing, and this message isn't for you. I'm sorry. I hope another month the message is for you. I do often ask and intend for the ones that need to come through, the ones that need to come through most. So I think that's part of what we have here. This could also be advice to or part of why this is the message that we're seeing most clearly here. And this can also be advice with the Page of Shells, the Page of Water, and advice to send a message of love. For some, it can be that you're lingering in this space for a reason. You're lingering in this space and having trouble forgiving yourself because you do want to at least end things differently. You want to say something nicer, sweeter. You want to communicate in a less Mercury retrograde and Sagittarius way. You want to be a little kinder and calmer than that. It may not be time yet, but Mercury is stationing direct at some point, which I kept mentioning. Use your intuition, obviously, as always, about all things, about when that's best sent, received, if that's the message for you, if that resonates, if that feels like something you think you should do. Because you're not going to get a message from them, it doesn't look like. I can't say that across the board with certainty for all, of course, exceptions to every rule, and free will certainly changes things. And it does look like a significant divine partnership that you were dealing with, that we're looking at here. But with this in and out, quick and fast in and out energy in your lesson, and the other two fire cards turned upside down, I just feel like that Page of Fire upside down is just your fear, but I also don't think the message is coming in. For most, not unless you are kind first. And I'm not even necessarily talking about a reconciliation for most either, just talking about being kinder, sharing kinder words, and having a kinder closure, likely. So with that said, I will leave it at that, Aquarians. I so hope that this message helped, that it offered you something you didn't have when you came to the reading. Info on private readings is down below. If you are interested in a personal reading, you can check that out in the description or on the banner of my channel. There are a few links in the About section on my channel. There's information, or just email me at lunartixtarot@gmail.com, and I'm happy to discuss your options that way. I am doing the 2019 yearly overviews. I'm doing the hour-long ones as 12-month overviews, where I look at each month. If you want it done in a half an hour, then I just look at each season, so we can do it that way as well. But there are plenty of other options and areas of focus. We looked at the astrology already. Thank you so much just for checking the video out, but also for liking and subscribing if you haven't, and if you do, thank you so much. Thank you for comments and shares and emails and messages, all of your interaction with the channel, and a special thank you for donations and purchases. I am truly grateful for each and every one of our energy exchanges here. I love hearing about how the reading resonated, if it did, also, so do comment and message if you would rather interact that way. Anything else I wanted to mention? Thank you for your interest in the free readings as well. I will return to those in the beginning of 2019 at some point. And in the meantime, I love you, Aquarians. And I hope you make very wise choices moving forward. You have so many. And I will post another tarot fix for us very soon.